All right, David, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Yeah, another week. I'm getting my mock draft ready, so that's gonna come out tomorrow. So some exciting stuff in there.
Yeah, you got Jared Verse falling to 21.
No, and I haven't gone to the Dolphins pick, but I'll tell you, Jared versus already off the board. So, yeah, so I don't have it happening. Sorry,
Yeah, you don't have Troy Guyton on the board there.
Troy Guyton.
Taylor Guyton. I'm sorry, Taylor Guyton.
The Taylor Guyton.
Troy is the Fountainu. I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name.
There's some possibilities.
The two guards tackles from Washington, in other words.
There we go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, it's still available. So I haven't gotten them out yet. So
is Latu still available at 21?
Who are you asking for?
Latu.
Lyle Tulatu.
Yeah.
Yes, I still have them available, but I haven't gotten to 21 yet. So
okay.
I'm debating whether he's going to be off the board in those picks leading up to it.
It's right around there. It's right around there where all those guys are going to go. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in that area where they're all going to go. The good thing is that they've left themselves open to pick whatever the hell they want with that first pick. And I don't think they're going to trade out of it only because I think they have a shot at getting an impactful player there at 21. And I think they need that. So I think they're going to stay there at 21 and not be a trade out. What do you think?
Let's see. I mean, like I said last time, if there's a lot of players that they like at that point, and you feel like, okay, you have a good offer going back a little bit, and you feel a lot of those guys are still going to be there by the time that other pick comes, then I could totally see just adding more draft capital, especially without that third or fourth round pick. So, yeah, I mean, I would really like that scenario too, because then you add that you don't have that big middle gap in the draft where, all right, first round pick, then you get your second round pick, and then you're done early Friday night, going into deep into Saturday. So, I would like it if there's some activity because there's so many prospects there in that middle portion of the draft.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, and it's not like Chris Greer is afraid to trade. I mean, that guy is willing to make trades like crazy. I don't know why people are surprised or like that Tua is working with the QB coach. It's kind of funny. Like, that's what professionals do. You work on your craft on the off season to try to be better. And I commend them for that, but that's what every professional athlete should be doing in the off season. You got to find a way to get better, bro. That's kind of the way it goes. I don't care if you're a receiver or an offensive lineman or whatever it is. You should be working on whatever it is to make you better. So I like the fact, he had to kind of work on his body the first couple of years. Now he's kind of working on, the part of his game, because unfortunately not everybody comes into the league with a hip injury. And right. So that kind of alters how you go about things. And so he kind of had to figure out his body first. And now he's kind of, figuring out his craft a little bit more. I like that.
Yeah, fine-tuning the quarterback aspects of throwing mechanics, everything else that comes with it, which he's already prolific at, and we see it with his accuracy and everything else, and how he's added power into his throwing mechanics, where 2 years ago, leading into that season, that first one under Mike McDaniel, where Tua really took off, and I remember writing about his offseason, everything that went into it, that 22 year, and his work with his personal trainer, Nick Hicks, and how he was sort of documenting his improvements in different types of distance throwing that he was able to add that whole offseason, and generating power from the lower half was such a big thing, and how he really bulked up his legs that offseason, and how that helped. It's not necessarily arm strength, but it's how you generate that throwing power from that whole body. So that was such a big deal that offseason. And then going into last also, he had all the jiu-jitsu training and protecting himself and adding muscle more so that then he can withstand hits. So he did that. He sort of checks off all these boxes in different off seasons, almost like I remember LeBron James, how his 4 years with the Heat, every year he had one thing that he wanted to, whether it was, okay, now the post game, I got to add it to my game, whether it was a 3-point shooting, I'm improving, whether it's, all right, well, now I'm not going to let opponents hack me. I'm going to get my free throw percentage up to a certain point. And Tua sort of just every offseason knocking off one thing and the next. And then now you see him more slim in all these pictures that we see from his golf tournament, all the foundational work that he's doing out in Hawaii. He had a big week of that. He's got his luau now that he always does annually in South Florida coming up Thursday night. So that's exciting as he comes back home and brings it back to South Florida. But yeah, I mean, I think some fans are looking at, oh, well, tell us about what he's doing with these quarterback trainers, and it like if it's breaking news, and I'm like, well, it's not exactly breaking news. I mean, yeah, we had an idea that Tua would want to improve this offseason, and now, okay, he is doing that, so it sort of makes sense from what I've heard. Then everyone he's working with, the John Beck and Tom House and Adam Dedeaux, they're just exceptional quarterback coaches that have worked with some of the best. So that's very encouraging to see. But yeah, I mean, I think we kind of expected this. Yes, Tua is going to work on his craft in the offseason. He's not just going to take it from end of the season to then, all right, I'm going to show up for OTAs, minicamp, and then just bridge into the season. And in such a huge year for me, I'm just going to wing it. No, he's going to work on his craft in the offseason, of course.
Yeah, man, of course. That's what you should be doing. And it just makes a ton of sense. So for me, it's not something that I'm really surprised about. But I guess it's the off season, so we can try to make something out of absolutely nothing. I'm sure you watched the Drew segment on Channel 7. And he said something that caught my eye a little bit when they were talking about Odell Beckham. And then he also mentioned about Tyler Boyd. But he said that Tyler would not be as expensive as Odell Beckham, which I kind of looked at it the other way around, that you would have to pay a little bit more for Tyler Boyd because he's probably looking for, he's 29. So he's looking for his last contract. So he's looking for a multi-year deal. Whereas Odell Beckham, you don't trust him as far as you can throw him, even though he's talented. So you're not giving him a multi-year deal because you don't want to really make that. It's really a one-year deal like what you normally would do with a guy like this. So I found that kind of – look, personally for me, I see one guy was asking about the receivers. Who would I take? For me, I want DJ Chark over all of the guys that are available. For me, DJ Chark is better than Odell, better than Tyler Boyd, a better football player overall, an exceptional route runner. Like, I'm talking about a perfection route runner. And when you have a perfection throwing quarterback in Tua that can throw precise routes, precise runners and precise throwers, oh my God, it is dangerous. And so for me, I like DJ Chark more over than anybody else. But I don't know if you heard that from Drew. What, if you did or not, what do you think about that? And what have you heard so far on the Odell front? Because it doesn't seem like there's anything going on. It looks like a stalemate right now. Yeah,
it looks like a stalemate right now. And that does surprise me because I sort of envisioned a market where Tyler Boyd would be a little bit pricier than Odell Beckham Jr. So it does surprise me to hear that. I think it probably has to do with how Odell views himself and how, he was this touted first-round pick, superstars to start off his career, reaching back, making that highlight reel catch, and then lining up all those Pro Bowlers. But then, some injuries have caught up to him and hasn't had a 1,000-yard season in a few years now. So, but I think he still sort of views himself as, okay, I demand this kind of market. So, and we saw it with what he got last year. What was it? Wasn't he making $15 million last year with the Ravens? Yeah, which is a lot for him. And maybe he still wants to be in that double digits, even though the Dolphins would not be paying that much for a wide receiver 3. I don't see it that way. So, yeah, I mean, I sort of always thought, okay, Odell is in the mix because you could maybe get him at a little bit lower of a rate than Tyler Boyd, even though I prefer Tyler Boyd slightly over him. But then if Tyler Boyd is cheaper than Odell, then why wouldn't you go that way? But you're selling me on DJ Chark too with what you're saying. Sort of we talked about it last time, and I really only heard it from you. But
personally, I find it ridiculous that you didn't go after him. Now, maybe he wants too much money. That's the part I don't know. I don't know his agent. I haven't asked.
I'm not sure of his market, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't inquired about that shit. But for me, DJ Chark is, oh my God. He is so perfect for Tua. It's ridiculous how perfect he is for Tua. And so that to me, I don't know. But maybe he wants too much. Maybe he wants multi-year deal or whatever. I don't know what it. Then again, you have a head coach that is in love with speed.
Yeah.
And Odell's the one that fills that check. Although Chark has good speed, overall. But yes, Odell has probably slightly better speed. Yes, there's no doubt about that. I don't know, man. I just think DJ Chark is as complete as it gets right now, available out there. I'm shocked no one has signed him. So I gotta ask myself what the hell is going on, because it just doesn't make sense for me. He's a good player, man. He really is. All right, what do you got going on in the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, that mock draft, I'm working it up. So I haven't gotten to the Dolphins pick, but I have all day today to crank that out and then get it ready. It'll be up tomorrow. So let's see what I'm going to do. Am I sticking at 21 or am I moving back? Let's see. I'm mapping it out, seeing what's available, and then I'll make my decision. And yeah, other positional previews leading up to the draft where the Dolphins stand at different positions. We just, myself and my colleague Chris Perkins came out with the tight ends, him on the draft prospects, me on where things stand. So we're doing receivers next.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. You can, of course, subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel so you can catch his work every single day, and many others there at the Sentinel. As always, David, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There you go. Welt and Rheaume, they are in Hollywood, 954-966-4646. Call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. Bankruptcy, personal injury, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, homeowner property damage. They do it all, and the consultation is completely free. 954-966-4646.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.